Their intellectual property goes away, their body of work goes away, because it's all tied to what that person can singularly produce. So we think about ways that we can document the knowledge that that person has. And again, I'm giving you the answer here. It's all going to be with AI tools. But we think about ways that we can start to build in support around that leader, particularly with contract work or other practitioners in the field. I heard people first talk about how they utilize some of their own students in their cohorts who become their vendors. It's a very similar model that we adopt in operations school, and I'm going to tell you, I'm very explicit about it. You cannot work for us if you have not gone through operations school. Why is that? We intentionally create opportunity to create a closed loop economy so that people who have bought into our mission, we buy into them. I would love to give a quick shout out to one of our alums, Sacred, who happens to also be an alum of this program, is also an alum of Operations School. And you all give it up to Sacred and Supreme. You saw them in that picture. They were actually some of our very first Operations School participants. I love shouting them out in public and embarrassing Sacred. So what's important here is being able to take that institutional knowledge that a founder has and creating them the structure to say, let's download what you know. Let's take the time to be able to hear your vision for this organization. How would it work when you're not here? But again, when they are so tied to the day-to-day operations of the organization, there is little time and capacity, interest, or resources to be able to do that. You see how Carlos will just leave my slides when it's time to finish? See how people do you around here? Thank you. The next step of that is to build knowledge infrastructure. And what does that mean? It means that, again, when all of the institutional knowledge belongs to the founder, it doesn't belong to the organization. So I have to spend a lot of time with founders getting them to think differently about the way that their organization is meant to run. If it's meant to run the way that you like it and the way that you prefer, it doesn't necessarily appeal to other people being able to replicate that work without you. I'll speak to my experience with Operations School, and you all are going to hear, I'll let you in on a little announcement. Last year, we announced that my managing director my COO was being moved up to managing director. In a few weeks, you all are going to see a press release that says, my managing director is now being promoted to CEO of Operations School. And I got to tell you, that's both terrifying, incredibly scary, but also incredibly exhilarating. Because what it says to us as an organization is that we have done the work over 7 years to make Operations School no longer a founder-led organization. And I can tell you that that did not come without a lot of intentional time being spent downloading everything that I had about Operations School into something that someone else can pass the baton on. And so we do things like create playbooks. Now I can tell you we have a few different entities under our brand. Operations School is the most evolved one, so what I'm referencing here is all things that we've done under that brand, and we're replicating that in some of our other teams. But you'd be surprised the way that we've been able to create things that help other people on our team know how every aspect of the organization works, so that God forbid something happens to me, that work could continue. Next slide. The next phase of